Hey there, classmates. My name is Jeff Beck. I'm going to share a little presentation about Thomas Aquinas. I hope you enjoy it. I'm not going to try and read off so many notes. I hope it's going to make a more personal conversation in between me and you. But I wanted to start off by sharing a couple of stories that I learned about Thomas. First of all, he was born into a very wealthy family. It was about 1224 to 1227 or so when he was born, and his dad was a count, his mother was a countess, and he was expected to be someone of a prominent profession. He decided otherwise. As he was growing up, he was really attracted by more of a religious lifestyle, and he chose to join the order of the Dominicans, basically a religious order that dedicated their life to their religion, and it was a very poor profession. His mother found out about this and wanted to stop it, but the Dominicans, trying to be a step ahead, tried to send Thomas to Rome to escape his mother. But en route to Rome, his brothers actually captured him because his mom sent the brothers to go kidnap him. They dragged him back to their family castle, and they held him there for 2 years. They sent a temptress or a prostitute to him to try and dissuade him and seduce him into not choosing his current profession. That didn't work because Thomas actually branded the temptress with hot poker from the fire. So his family realized that he wasn't going to change his mind, and they let him escape so that they could preserve their family name. And that really shows to me how virtuous Thomas was. He wasn't going to let anything deter him, and I am very impressed by that. The other story I wanted to share with you was something that happened in a Catholic Mass near the end of his life. As he was attending, he experienced like a supervision where he was actually literally lifted off of the ground. At least that's what is reported. And he heard the voice of Christ basically tell him that all the work that he had done was adequate. The rest of it we don't know. But when Thomas came to and he was talking to one of his faithful companions, he told him that his life's work was of no worth, that because of this revelation that he received, it didn't really matter at all. And that is something very interesting, because the life of Thomas Aquinas is full of rich theology and philosophy. And he was one of the most influential people regarding truth and reason and faith, and making those connections. Just a little bit more about him. He studied under a very prominent professor named Albertus Magnus, and he taught. He was even praised by popes, and all who heard him speak told him that he was gifted, that he even surpassed his masters at being able to explain the doctrine. So he was a very gifted man. And he wrote something that is still used today in the Catholic Church for those who are planning on becoming a priest, who are studying the philosophies of the Catholic Church. It's called the Summa Theologia. It's a 4,000-page work where he explains everything in the Catholic Church regarding faith, the existence of God, the nature of man, anything and everything that you can think of. So this work is basically the culmination of his own theories and devotion to God. There are some thoughts and some, I guess, educational principles that we can gain from Thomas Aquinas that we see today, and that is why he is an educational giant. One of the main things is that he talked about truth, and how truth is something that you arrive at. There is truth everywhere that we go, and in everything. We need to arrive at it. There's almost a scientific process of coming to truth. And that is something that we can see today, and that I have been influenced in, understanding that there are fountains of truth through faith and revelation, and also through the scientific process. Both are important. Another thing that he talked about was the connection between reason and faith, and how they're not contradictory, but they build each other up. There's one thing that I'd like to read to you. It has some bullet points of just how he would describe the connection between reason and faith. It says, reason should prepare the minds of men to receive the faith by proving the truths which faith presupposes. The next thing he talks about is reason should explain and develop the truths of faith and should propose them in scientific form, like we talked about, kind of coming to and through a process, coming to faith and reason. And the next thing, reason should defend the truths revealed by Almighty God. So this concept of whether it's through revelation and faith or through reason, really to Thomas Aquinas it was one and the same. I've noticed that in my own life, and I am so grateful for the things that he has taught. There are schools of thought known as Thomism that really delve into his beliefs and his thinking about truth. Thomism also deals with the fact that there is good everywhere that we go, and that we as human beings need to participate in and arrive at this good. It's kind of like the relationship between righteousness and blessings, I guess you could say, in a more LDS concept. But this school of thought is taught here at BYU Idaho, and it's something that if we wanted to, we could incorporate in our own teaching. And this basically makes Thomas Aquinas one of our educational giants, and he has influenced us in so many ways and will continue to influence us throughout the years. Thank you for watching.